Good morning. 7:50 on this Saturday morning. You know how it is. Money don't walk. I go ahead and get it. But I'm coming today to tell you about. I'm vacillating between two topics, but one is more pressing to me than the other. It came to me after doing an estimate for a customer. I'm gonna leave that right there. But I was looking at all the things that were desired to be done and looking at the budget, and I'm like, it's like a week or two of work, and you trying to pay for a day of work. It's like, okay. And the Lord spoke to me. He said, now this was strictly professional engagement with the customer, but at the same time I wanna make sure that's out there, so when I say this statement, it doesn't seem like there was some mixing of business. So the statement, God told me, he said, a lot of women kill their men because their expectation over exceeds their man's ability to perform. They want $1 million house on McDonald's budget. And I look at how often I've seen different people throw fits because they want their life to be the way they want it to be, and often take their support, and I'm talking about married couples and people who are in long-term relationships. Their supports are doing all they can, because when a man loves a woman, he's definitely going to try to provide and meet that desire that she has. But at what point do you as a man have to stand for yourself and say, hey, I can't do it? And what, I mean, even though it's like, I love you so much that I'll die trying. Versus, like, I mean, woman, you got a job. Like, what do you bring to the table to make this happen? Man, I become the sole provider, and you just do whatever you want to do with your money? It's like, where's the balance? Are we really a team? And I even look at the Proverbs 31 woman who had her own business. Got up early in the morning, took care of the household, then went out there and sold her goods. And I put Proverbs 31 inside the description. But it's like, at what point do we say enough is enough? Or what point do we humble ourselves and be content with all things? Content enough to say, hey, you know what? I don't have it right now, but we're working toward it. Or maybe we can make some other moves to make this thing work so that I don't have to work 4 jobs and not have enough time to take care of my mental, physical, personal health, emotional health, that because I'm working so hard to meet these financial goals. And it goes back to, we may say money is not everything, or money is no big deal, but that's because you got it. And how did you get it? Did somebody die for you to get it? Did somebody work their butt off for you to get it? And if you promised to pay somebody, did you pay them? Or did you kind of shrug it off like, oh, no big deal? Like, what part do you bring to the table? Even if it's a friend helping out a friend, like, if I'm helping you out and you count in my pocket, like, there's no limit to the amount of funds that I have, well, what about what you bring to the table? What about what you can do for yourself? Are you looking at my resources as yours? I mean, I look at it like this. If two women are best friends, does that mean her man is the other one's man too? Does that extend like that? So if that's the case, then so does he get intimacy benefits from the other female? Does it work like that? No, that's what break up friendship. So at some point, you know, we have to look at, if that's your friend, then her man ain't obligated to take care of you. In the Bible it says, honor your wife. not your wife's friend. I mean, that's how stuff start getting complicated and sticky. Like, what are you doing? But sometimes people just feel that they cool like that, and I'm just like, you crazy. I mean, I even look at the times when I had more money than sense, and I paid for everybody, their friends. Don't worry about it, I got it, no big deal. And it might have been, you know, I mean, I might have had a check coming in a day or two, but that was my last one right then, and I, you know, it's like no big deal. It's coming right back. Or I might have had a job the next day and I spend out. But I mean, it's some things not guaranteed. As you get older, you're just like, I done seen some things not paying out. And sometimes we have to look at ourselves and say, what are we doing to make these false expectations on folks? When people can just throw a fit and we say, okay, to hush the noise, I'm gonna do, you know, whatever I got to do. And I just recognize sometimes you gotta let folks earn it. It's such a selfish world out here. It is really a selfish world out here. And some people do not appreciate somebody just loving on them, just giving their best, because they're not willing to give it the same. They're gonna make every excuse in the world or why they caught an attitude with you because you didn't do what you didn't do what they wanted you to do, and they may they may rarely keep their word. It may be 60-40 on them keeping their word. 60% them keeping their word, 40% them not. And it'll create a situation where people don't want to ask you to do nothing because they don't feel like you're going to keep your word on anything. And I'm going to tell you, males and females, that's why God is your source. That's why you have to depend on God. That's why you have to have a relationship with God. The first, is this something I should be asking for? I mean, faith has its place in all things. Be faithful with what you got. Make do with what you got. Maybe change your attitude. Maybe humble yourself. Maybe grow up a little bit. Maybe appreciate some folks around you to give them the extra strength, intestinal fortitude, or desire to want to do a little bit extra. If somebody's regularly going out their way for you and they ask you to do a simple thing, a little thing, and you can't do it, why should somebody break their neck and go out their way for you? That's pimping. That's manipulation. That is, I don't give a care about you. Just do me. Selfish society. And it's some good women out here that some dudes take advantage of. Like, I was talking to a friend who was telling me about this guy who just expected, because she's a breadwinner, she's a go-getter, she's a breadwinner. And he was disappointed with her because she wasn't going to support him financially, and he's just living off whoever and not trying to get a job. Oh, I'm going to work out. I didn't have time to go look for a job today. What? This supposed to be your woman, and you want her to take care of you? Mama's boy mentality. Let me tell y'all women something. Stop ruining these boys. Let them take out the trash. Let them do something. Let them carry something for you while you walking in. I don't care if it's a pencil. Let them do something. You a female. Unless a real man, and I ain't talking about just because a male was around you, you had a man. A real man who takes responsibility, who sees things and don't just let it linger, who values you enough to say, hey, look, if don't nothing look good around here, you gonna look good, your hair gonna look good, the car you ride in gonna look good, you know, and the house you live in gonna look good, at least on the outside. And the best I can on the inside. Ain't gonna have nothing leaking, this, that, and the other. I can't promise you, doggone, my Hajj Matal, whatever it is, Hajj Matal. Anyway, I can't promise you some fantastic, oh my God, I can't even see like 50 feet in front of me. But the Taj Mahal, that's what it is. I can't promise you like some super duper interior design makeover when I'm sitting up here being the breadwinner and you crying about your share of the bills. But I can at the very least say, hey, look, we can take care of what we got. God blesses humble beginnings. Oh my God, this fog is crazy out here. Ooh, red light, I better stop. I just do not cease to be amazed at how people have these millionaire expectations and just think that you're gonna get, thank the Lord that I'm dead free, rich, blessed. 8 a.m. alarm went off. Have these expectations on, and you only living. I mean, how do you expect to be a millionaire and all you doing is 100,000? You gotta, and you're not changing anything. You gotta create different streams of income. How do you expect to spend money like as fast as it comes in without, I mean, how do you expect to spend money as soon as it comes in without some nest egg and to be debt free? I mean, unless you're paying, you know, on your bills regularly, but there's always things that happen that come up, unexpected things that come up. You have to find that, I don't even want to say balance, because it's kind of like what, you know, you pay out what comes in, but you have to find that budget. That's the word I'm looking for. You have to find that budget to say, I'm not going to spend more than what comes in. I have to communicate with my mate to say, hey, this is what's coming in, this is what's going out. What can we do to improve, to cut back, to make things work for us? Maybe the kids don't have to do all these activities, and we take that money right there and put it in an investment so that when school come around, they have whether it's college or just getting back to grade level next or private school at some point. We have to look at these things. I'm gonna say it again, money don't walk, gotta go out here and get it. Like, how are you getting it to meet the expectation that you want to live? And the fallacy of social media and online, let's just say media period, is that you can have millionaire status on whatever income you live in, and that's not accurate. You have to be able to sustain. I mean, let's say it like this. You've build $1 million house, do you recognize the taxes on that house gonna be higher? Let's say you stay in $1 million neighborhood, automatically, even if it's not high taxes, no. Even if your house is not the biggest house on the block, your taxes because of the area is going to be bigger. Just because you living in that neighborhood. If you stay on a side of town where the houses are averaging $100,000 to $200,000 and you build a $700,000 house, the taxes on that house should be higher than the taxes on the other houses in the area. I'm just trying to get you to understand. Excuse me. I know that was gross to some of y'all. But the taxes on the area the taxes on that property is going to change based on the ad valorem rate per the square footage and the value of that home. So, oh my God. Since we breaking stuff down, I say that for another video. But at what point are you thinking about what it costs to be what you trying to be, who you trying to be, how you trying to be it? You have to think about that, because it's not just going to be everything don't come easy. A lot of things you just got to work for. And work don't mean that you always sweating to get it. Sometimes you have to find different investments or different ways to manage finances so that they don't manage you all the time. Look at your recreational habits. Whether you plan, you got recreational substances, you got, I'm talking about alcohol, marijuana in the legal states, paying for whatever your recreation is, video games, whatever it is. You know what your budget is. So with that, it's like, how much am I spending there that I could be spending somewhere else? Now, I'm not gonna say that on occasion you shouldn't have some recreational time, meaning like sometimes you just need a break. You need to go to the spa and get massaged, rubbed down, especially if you don't have a mate that will do those things or is willing to do those things for you. Because if you know what makes you feel good, then you can probably tell them like, oh, rub it like this or this, that, and the other, and save that spa money or whatever. Have a spa at home. Buy a little foot soaker. Learn how to do some of that stuff yourself. And y'all treat each other. That's what love does. Don't get me started. Because let me tell you what I will do. You know what, babe? You need your toes done. Let me learn how to paint your toes. You know what I'm saying? Because you going to look good even if I'm looking scruffy around here. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. You need your back rub? Girl, I got you right there. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to go to the spa to get your whatever rubbed, okay? I got that. You know what I mean? But that's just me. Because that's the type of man I am. No man will ever be a better man for my mate. It's just, nah, it ain't happening. You can make more money than me, but you'll never love deeper than I love my mate. You'll never study my mate more than I study my mate. You'll never learn the intricate details of her mind like I do. Like when her eyes look like this, she means this. Or when she says okay with this tone, it means this. Versus when she say okay with this tone, it means no. See, y'all don't get that. It takes time to be with your mate to learn those different things. That when she shuts down and is quiet, don't necessarily mean that I did something wrong, but it does mean she's thinking. And I need to be silent enough to hear her heart when she's not ready to speak her mind. So, it's just little things that you catch by standing by your mate and not just standing in your mate. Because if you're man enough to stand in them, you should be man enough to stand by them and never be the man or boy that says, I can't stand you. You should have did that investigation before you started penetration. I digress. Because the whole thing was don't kill your man because of your demands. Oh, that worked for men too. Don't kill your woman because of your demands. See, I balanced it out. Y'all thought I was just being selfish for the men. Get out of here. Y'all have a good day. Remember this. Don't be ungrateful. Be thankful. Thankful people are happy. Don't make over demanding. I messed it up. Let me rewind. Don't demand so much that the person is not being healthy because they can't take care of themselves because they're so busy trying to take care of you, because they love you crazy enough to do it like that. Pray about everything. Be faithful, even if it's faithful in, hey, we can't do that right now.